Hey guys, welcome to The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. So this is the Aquascape P90, UNS P90 as it's known. ADA, that's Aqua Design Mono, also has a P90 that they call that in their lineup of aquariums. But what this is 90 centimeters of viewing room in the front, and we're going to take a look at some of the fish and some of the plants that are in the tank right now. Not all of them, but most of them are making an appearance as we speak. I just put bloodworms in and Daphnia, as well as some bug bites by Fluval. I'll link some of the stuff that I used and that's in the tank, as well as where I got the fish for the tank, in the description down below. And if you guys like these kind of videos, it's just going to be kind of a straightforward, like, this is the name of that, this is for that. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're seeing a new species or a new variant of something, or an angelfish swimming sideways, you know, whatever, just stuff that you don't always see. And or you're just curious, you've seen a picture and you just want someone to explain, like, what's that plant? And that would be Anubius coffifolia. Coffifolia, think of it as having ridges, being ruffled, rufflefolia, coffifolia, I don't know. There's some mnemonic device, you figure it out. Also in here, we have the lovely father who just had a bunch of babies. The bristlenose lemon pleco, which would be an Ancestris cirrhosis, not of the liver, but he is a bristlenose. That's what that means. Pleco is an overarching name for all of the not Loricaridae, but all of the catfish in Ancestris and Plicata. There's Peclotia and a range of various fish. I think there's 8 or 9 species that plecos they're known as plecos. Alright, so the other thing that we have in here that you may not see very often these are wild-caught Venezuelan Corydoras. They're Corydoras venezuelas is their actual name. And right next to him, right here, is the not wild-caught one, and it looks as though he has a problem going on. He's got his venom glands are actually swollen. I've never seen that before. He's got them equally swollen on both sides, but it's the little gland under his armpit that's swelling. That is really interesting. I've never seen that. I wonder if he's irritated himself or if he got lodged somewhere. I'll probably put him in quarantine just to make sure that that's not something else going on that could spread. Yeah, that's a new one for me. Let's try to catch him. These guys are pretty darn quick. The wild ones are way quicker than the tank-raised ones, but you know, I love having a wild fish, but I also really like to promote when people tank raise their fish. Yeah, he's way too fast for the little net. I'll have to get the big net for him. But these other Corydoras, these are called Corydora pandus, which is a hilarious Latin name. Panda Corydoras are just called Corydora pandus. Venezuelan Corydoras are just called Corydora venezuelas. And they're very... they're both very lively in the day. They come out a lot. I bred a bunch of these little Corydoras, the panda ones. They're very gregarious and they're very touchy-feely with each other. They sleep in little piles and stuff, and they're just kind of cute to watch if you want a friendly, outgoing Corydora. Here's a wild-caught one. You can see how beautiful the color is on the wild-caughts versus the pet trade tank bred ones. Now, hopefully, we'll get that dialed in. You know, there'll be a way to get the proper nutrients for them to build a coat like that in captivity. And by coat, I just mean skin tone and things like that. But right now, there just seems to be a huge difference for the life of the fish and for its offspring. It could also be exposure to sunlight and, you know, things like that. All right, so then here we have some angelfish cruising into the scene here. This is known as a veil tail angelfish, ultimate angelfish. Over here we've got some very, very full pigs of blue angelfish. You can see just how blue they are. Pretty intense. And then here's another one here. These were from Aquatic Arts. There. Oh yeah, he's spitting his food up for you. And then I picked up a couple others of these little yellow guys, these Ultim angelfish also. And then over here, sneaking around the corner, we might as well get him while we have a shot, is the blue-eyed albino, oftentimes, but it's actually an L144 also, but it's just a paler version. But this is the fancy long fin, and I like to call those, you know, angel or flares or, you know, something like that, because compared to these guys, they're just incredible. They're just so beautiful in their movement. Other than that, in the tank right now, we've got the Siamese algae eater, not to be confused with the Chinese algae eater, which is just a mean son of a gun. And then, oh wow, that was really interesting. This wild Corydoras put out his venom spikes. So they have these little venom spikes underneath their pectoral fin, or alongside their pectoral fin, and I'm seeing some of these cories are actually putting those spikes out for some reason. No idea why. What's going on with this guy? Does he just have food stuck on his face? Let's find out. He's got a bloodworm. Is that stuck in his gill? We'll see. Well, man, they're quick. But something may have just scared them, or maybe I've just never noticed that they preen their venom glands. Now, when I say venom, they do have venom that can irritate a human, but it's not going to, like, poison you like a rattlesnake or, you know, like some sort of big, nasty bite. It's more of just intense burning and irritation at the sight of them. But it appears that all Corydoras do have venom glands and do have this kind of channeled venom injector, which is kind of interesting. And they're all cruising around. This is Monte Carlo that I'm trying to get to carpet. Back there, the even teenier version, just for perspective. So the farther back it is, the smaller the leaves I like on the plant. That would be dwarf baby tears. And then in here, we've got some other various Rotalas. We've got some Ludwigias in here. We've got a red star Ludwigia that's transferring to its water form here. We've got Alternanthera renickii right here, minis, and then normal. And then we have, let's see, what else do we have? That's gold coin Anubius. We also have petite nana Anubius, the Cophifolia. It has reaches. And then over here we have a young cutting of the Logonandra meboldi pink, which we have a large version of right here. It's got a big foot-long leaf. And then we have the Logonandra meboldi powdered silver, or silver powder, silver dust, whatever you want to call it, right here. This is one of the rarest plants in the hobby at the moment. Definitely goes for over $150 for a plant. So kind of crazy. I have to give a big up thanks to one of my subscribers, Alan, for that. So thank you, Alan. I can't run around buying $150 plants, but they sure are beautiful when I get a cutting of them. Now up here we have all of the ember tetras. We have a new batch of little babies, And they're getting pretty bold, as though the feeding time looks like it chippered and cheered them up. They came out of the hiding areas back there. And what they were hiding was Kabamba furcata. That's the pink stuff here. You're probably used to seeing Kabamba caroliniatus or Carolina, or Americana, which is the purple and dark forest green version. This is from South America, a little bit harder to find. Then back behind it, we have Potamogeton. I always mess that name up, but that's how you say it. Potamogeton gayi, and that's that multicolored wispy grass with the gold lines down the center, with bronze, gold, and lime green colors on red and amber, different color leaves. This is a Rotala purple Vietnam. It's very subtle purple, to be honest. Right here we have a full-size Bulbitis hedgelata, which is an African fern, underwater fern. It'll grow out of water really well too. It's from the dense jungles and rivers. And then here we have another plant that is the red star Ludwigia. But if you can see, its leaves are much more rounded, and so it has taken to its water form much more. Also, we've got, if you can see it, it's starting to melt away really bad right now, but this is Hygrophila pinnatophyta, and it looks like, you see the shape of the leaves are kind of like cutouts, like big, long, elongated green cutouts with that kind of frosty looking ends. That's the above water format of it, and it's probably going to all melt back before it becomes more comfortable and looks something more like the Bulbitis here. Okay, so moving on, we also have just some various other, like there's another little piece of Kabamba. I did have, oh yeah, so back over here, we take a look. Here is a Stardust Melon Sword, Amazon sword. And here is Cypress Hellfry. It looks like Cypress Hellfairy when you look it up, the spelling. And it's a nice wispy grass that stays in like one tuft. It'll run a bit over time, but it's easy to keep track of. It's not going to take over anything, which I appreciate. In here, we've got a Crypt Nuri Rosen Maiden, which is another really rare crypt. Moving it, it got a little mad, and now it's kind of melting a bit, but I think it'll be all right. Then we've got the Crypt Wendetti Pink Flamingo back in, well, there's one back over there. Let me find one that's better for you guys to look at right here. So that has a nice, beautiful pink color. There's a few growing, just kind of hidden, stashed around in here. This is Crypt Undulata. Here's another Pink Panther crypt there, also known as the Pink Flamingo, which can confuse people, but this is actually a completely different plant. This is Persicarius Sao Paulo, and it has leaves that come out randomly, just not even side to side, you know, alternating, just random. And it's a beautiful red plant. It's a little fragile, but I really like that plant also. Moving over, we've got a lot of Bucephalandra in here that's just kind of tucked in into like little crevices. We have Eriocolum Vietnam growing in little tufts, and then we have this is actually a Ludwigia hybrid cross with leucostris. Ludwigia x leucostris is what you would find it as, and it's just got these beautiful delicate needles. It looks very similar to, if we take it and look over here in the back here you've got the Araguaia, Ludwigia araguaia, which just gets really spindly. Here's more of that too, and is an interesting plant as well. Then here, this is Rotala wallachia in its water form. That's one of my another one of my favorites. I really like that plant. It's very hard to take care of, and if it dies, it decides to like poop out all its leaves at once and just spike your ammonia. So just a heads up, if you keep a close eye on it. Also, we've got Rotala Mini Pearl Type 2 here. This stuff just basically doesn't grow, for me anyways. It has grown a little bit, but I think that the catfish are doing a number on it. Moving on up, we've got a little bit taller species of crypts. They grow nice and fast. These are Crypt spiralis, and they're called, you know, tiger, red tiger, spiralis red tiger, and they're just a lovely cryptocarine plant. Moving farther up, we've got willow moss and Christmas moss growing off of things. We've got Hygrophilus sunset rosemer, which you're not allowed to buy or sell, but you can possess in my state, but check in your state what the rules are. And then we've got some more Ludwigia ovalis and Ludwigia, what is that? I can't remember that one. I'm sorry, folks. It's a type of Ludwigia, a very plain one. Inclinata, perhaps? Yeah. But not the curly kind or anything. And believe it or not, this is Bacopa gigantus. It's Bacopa americana, or I think that's, yeah, Bacopa americana. And it started as these little teeny tight buds, much more akin to this shape back here. And now it's just gone. The light is so extreme under this twin star 900 AE or EA that it's just kind of blasted it out into its landform underwater, and the things are just ginormous. They start really tight if you keep them in lower tech situations. And then right there you can see we do have a curly form of the Ludwigia inclinata there. You see the tips of it twist off to either side on that one where that angelfish is. And then we have a crypt Hudori, a Hudori crypt right here that I got from Lucas Bretz. And I think that kind of sums up the botanical tour of this neck of the woods. I was going to see if we could see any of my new African catfish, but they're really, really shy. Oh, and then over here I have a purple night sword, which is kind of getting outshined by the new Ludwigia red star. So I might move that Ludwigia red star somewhere else, because the Amazon purple night sword has some really beautiful dark purple colors in it when the leaves are new. All right, guys, that's that. I've also got Autosynclus in here, and then I've got Synodontis, or Petricola, sorry, mustard catfish, and probably have some African Petricola synodontis in here soon too. And we'll just have a catfish paradise in this funky tank. Probably going to take a couple of the angels out once they get old enough to pair off. And that's what's going on in the tank, guys. So let me know what you think. If you'd take anything out, if you'd add anything, more stones, more fish, more plants, whatever you guys think. The goal is to have this all carpet in eventually, and then to actually take sand and maybe make some paths in that carpeting, and then to start heavily trimming back areas more Dutch style once things have taken a hold, because it's only a month and a couple weeks old. So, all right, guys, well, that's what's going on, and I will talk to you next time. Don't forget to take care of your critters. I know you won't, and the people around you. I hope you won't. And take care of yourself, because if you don't do that, you can't do the other two. So, I mean, you got to do that. And from there, if you're still here, because I'm not all there, please like, subscribe. Feel free to support the channel and the school of fish that I hope to send to college soon through Patreon or t-shirts on Teespring, or just by liking and sharing. It's free. Try it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Swim on. Good night.